Good morning on this rainy, stormy day. If you live in Alabama, you are probably getting drenched right now. For all of you that watch, periodically, this is no new news to you. However, for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, I don't prepare my messages in advance. I wait on God to give me a message the morning of. Well, this morning, I normally, film a message of the day before I leave to go to work, and I usually leave around 7-ish. It's getting to get closer and closer to time. I have no word from God, no message, nothing that I'm supposed to talk about. And I'm like, well, the thought came to my head, what if? And I'm like, why am I saying what if? I mean, look how powerful our God is. I know that He's not going to let me down, and there will be a message. I just need to be patient and wait. And 6:23, I get a message from my oldest daughter, and it's just simply a link to James Spann forecast for today. Now, if you live in Alabama, you also know that James Spann, you're the man. If you want to know what's going on with the weather, if you want a reliable source that you can trust, James Spann is where you go to hear this, right? I'm sorry, my eyes are watering. It's a little allergy stuff. Okay, but anyhow, so I read this, and boom, I'm like, God, there's your message. That's always, you never fail me, and that was the message. So here we go. I'm titling this, Are You Ready for the Bad Weather? So there are tornado warnings all across Alabama for tomorrow. I mean, they're predicting some really strong damaging winds, hail. Where I live, right in the center of the worst part that's going to come through Alabama. And the worst part of it is going to come during the night. Seems like that always happens. So, on James Spann's message, and I'm going to quote him, he says, but the main band of organized thunderstorms will come tomorrow night, pre-dawn hours. Get ready now. Have at least 2 ways of hearing warnings. That's a quote from James Spann. Now then I look at Matthew 24:44. Therefore, you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Matthew 24:42. Therefore, stay awake, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. It's telling us to stay awake. James Spann just told us the bad weather is coming. You need to stay awake. So you think about it. We're preparing, we prepare for a tornado. We prepare for bad weather. We get helmets. We figure out what room we're going to go into if there's an emergency. We have our radios set up and charged and ready to, pronounce the weather in case the cell phones go down. We sometimes pack a little bag in case we are out of our homes for a little while for whatever reason. Some of us go to shelters. We look at maps and we figure out where the next shelter is. We do all this to prepare for a storm. How much more do we need to be preparing for Christ's coming? Just like these tornadoes that come in the middle of the night, that is exactly what the Bible tells us about. Jesus is coming. It's going to come when you least expect it. When you think things are smooth sailing, it's going to come. You don't know. Nobody knows. The people who get up there and say they know when God's coming, they're false prophets, because the Bible says no one knows. We will see signs. The prophecies will play out, but we will not know the exact hour. Just like James Spann said, don't be asleep. Don't be sleeping through this. Stay awake. Be ready. Prepare yourself. Get ready now. This is not something you can get ready for when you hear that first siren. You won't have time. Prepare yourself now. And And that's the message that God wanted me to give today. See you guys later.